Hello everyone, welcome to the trade. Today we're going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty levels for 30th Wednesday, 30th March. This is the daily chart of Banknifty that I've opened. We have a nice spin bar that is formed. That is because we got a nice dip in the intraday and that was bought into. That's the reason this spin bar is formed in daily chart. Apart from that, there's nothing so specific or something that we can spot on a daily chart. So let's move to our intraday levels. This is the 15-minute chart of Bank Nifty, and based on our analysis yesterday, these are the levels that we had. So in the morning when we opened at about, when we got a gap up and opened at about 35,900, I kind of thought we might go into this gap, take resistance, and then probably get some kind of a dip. But this gap boundary itself acted as resistance. We had this gap marked yesterday, this blue shaded area. So the price perfectly took resistance at this gap level and then dipped, and this dip was expected until 35,500. We got the dip and then some good buying. So we'll have to see how it plays out tomorrow. And this is our group in the CosmoFeed app where I did mention the same thing that this chart was posted at around 11:20. See the kind of OI that we had built up on the call side. So we were expecting a dip until 35,500. So that was one scalping trade that I took. Obviously I didn't take this up move. Even this bounce from here was tradable, but we were able to catch this down move. Now if I just show you on the 5-minute chart how this down move could have been dissected is, see, obviously yesterday I did mention that today CPR is wide and it can be a little sideways, right, market, and it did remain sideways within this opening range between 35,900 and 35,500, between 400 points. But when we kind of formed this price action, right, we came here, again went, again took resistance here. This is when we had that confirmation that probably we'll get a dip from here, because see, when this nice bullish candle came, if you see the strength of this candle, I'd explained even in my the weekly trade review video that always we need to see the follow-up price action. When we got this nice bullish candle, I did go long here, but the next candle was not giving any follow-up. You see, it was taking resistance at the same previous point, right? We started making lows low. So this is where I entered and was able to just capture this dip as a quick scalp. Apart from that, there was nothing else for option buying. So that was a good trade. And the next good trade on the upside was when this candle came. We were getting green bullish candle, so we could have taken a scalp, but that was almost at the fag end of the market, right? Almost like 3 o'clock. So those trades I avoid. Now coming for the trade possibilities for tomorrow. So on the 15-minute chart, the shaded area where the gap is, if that breaks, and this area, right, if this breaks tomorrow, either with a gap up or anything, if this area breaks, that is this level of 36,072, then we might get some good move until 36,300 or even 36,560 is possible. That is only if we break this area. In case we get a pretty flat opening, right, the close of today's close is 35,850, right? Say if we get a pretty flat opening, there is a chance that we might again take resistance here and get one small intraday drip. Even this is possible. But if we gap up, yeah, then probably, and the gap up sustains, the first target on the upside would be 36,340 and 36,500. And for any short trade, I would kind of like keep this trend line, and a break of this trend line can give us a nice short trade. The first targets being 36,600, then 36,500. If tomorrow 36,500 breaks, then we might hit 35,200. Sorry, I keep saying 36, it's 35,500. If 35,500 breaks, probably we can hit 35,200. But those are a little bit of extended targets. Based on the OI, we have a very good support at 35,500. So probably any dip in the intraday levels, this area can be a good area to buy. That is around 35,500. Obviously based on the price action. There is one chart pattern in this 15 minutes that is forming like an inverted head and shoulder. So not sure if this will work, but the break of this, the neckline is here, and the break of this, and the confirmation is if this gap breaks, we could go higher. And on this chart, I have the weekly and the monthly CPR plotted. Right now, I just have the weekly CPR. See, we are exactly within the weekly CPR, right? We didn't break last week's low. We came to CPR. Now the price action is within this weekly CPR in Bank Nifty. So if this CPR level breaks, right, that is again coming in at around 36,000. If this upper top CPR breaks, maybe we will touch 36,400 and then probably 36,800. So this move is also possible on the upside. And if I just put on only the monthly CPR, I just want to show you something. So right now I'm just enabling only the monthly CPR on my indicator. So for monthly CPR, it's best we go to 1 hour chart for analyzing it. See, we started here, we opened this month, another two days is left for this month, right? See, we opened somewhere here 35,400. We came down until S2. I always keep telling, right? This is also based on CPR setup. Always the market takes a big turn at a monthly CPR level. So at S2, we took a bounce. We came until CPR. We were not able to break this CPR, right? We came once, we came twice here. We were not able to break it. And just my view based on the CPR trading, what I've been doing, my view is before this expiry, right? Before this month, and before this expiry, I don't think we will break this CPR comfortably. Probably we might come and retest this, or we might be somewhere over here, but I don't think we will break this CPR easily this month. Another 2 days is left. Let's see how it goes. But these are the things just to keep in mind on the upper side. So in case we go up, right, a resistance can come here and here. But for some reason, if this CPR also breaks this level, this pivot level of 36,800, yeah, we could probably go higher. So that's one thing about the CPR. And in case we get a pretty strong up move, right, we do have very good resistance here at 36,800. This level, we have very good resistance here, and also this gap is there. So this is actually part of the gap which we have been tracking from some time. So again, this gap boundary can act as a good resistance as well. The lower part will come around 36,600. So we need to be aware of all the levels now, which however the market moves, so that we'll be able to trade. Now just looking at the global market, right, the Dow Jones is yet to open. It will probably open in about 10-15 minutes from when I'm making this video, but it has given a strong move until now. Even the European markets, probably based on what this war news, they are reaching to some kind of a settlement, probably because of that. As of now, SGX Nifty is pointing at a 192 point gap up, 200 point gap up. So let's see if we get a huge gap up. See, 190 in SGX Nifty will put us around 400 or 500 points in Bank Nifty. Now if I just turn on the CPR for tomorrow, that will probably come somewhere over here near R2, probably 36,200 or 300. So at every instance there is good resistance, right? So we'll have to be careful, just depend on the price action. That's the only thing. See, if we get a gap up until here, we have this R1. If we get a gap up until here, we have this kind of this price action that can act as resistance. If we gap up near 35,500, we have this level that can act as resistance. Even if we gap up and keep going higher, we have this gap boundary at 36,600. Then we have this level at 36,800. So at every instance there's a resistance. So best is all depend on the price action. Price action meaning if every resistance level is nice, breaking with a nice bullish candle on a 15 minutes, that's when we know that we can comfortably sit on a long trade. And tomorrow CPR, see today CPR was wide. As mentioned in my yesterday video, we will remain range bound. We remained sideways between R1 and the CPR. Tomorrow it's a comparatively narrow CPR, so a bit of a trending move can be seen. And just looking at the open interest for Bank Nifty, see we have a pretty good resistance at 36,000. A lot of call ratings have even been added today, and a very good support at 35,500. I don't think it will break before this expiry 35,500, because a lot of call sellers have exited. But one thing that is odd is the change in OI, the bottom part where it shows the change in OI. 35,800 as more call sellers and 35,900 as more put sellers. Probably a lot of people are expecting the market to close on Thursday within this range, 35,800 and 900. Probably some kind of a straddle or something they would have opened, but 35,800, there is a lot of call sellers that have been added today, and put sellers have been added at 35,900. So that's with the open interest. Now just looking at the Nifty chart. See, Nifty also pretty much remained sideways, and we just got this nice up move in the end. See, for Nifty on the upper side, right, we have a very good resistance at this level. I'm just going to an 1 hour chart. The resistance level is nothing but this shaded area where the resistance can come at 17,440. If this breaks this gap that is there, right, between 17,590 and 17,400. So only when we break this level, probably we can see if we can fill this gap. A gap fill might take place, but a 200 point gap up tomorrow will put us in this gap level, right, or even probably close to this area of 17,500. So we should be careful. If we open in this gap area, right, there is a chance Nifty can go here, take resistance at this level, 35,890, around this level, and again dip. So we need to be aware of that as well. And on the upper side, again there is resistance at 17,641 and also 17,797. And a good short trade in Nifty is probably if this trend line breaks, but I don't think it'll happen soon. But if this level breaks, right, today's low, that is 17,230, only then probably a good short move can come, with first level as 17,070, and we have a small intraday level at 17,137. Let me see on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, here. See, since we are getting a huge gap up and we are gapping up in this gap area, I'm kind of expecting wherever we open, after opening, like probably intraday or throughout the day, we might reject an upper level and dip in Nifty and Bank Nifty. That is my view. So let's see what happens. But if the upper level breaks, obviously we'll be ready to trade based on that. See, my view is if we open in this gap area, right, either we will open here. If this gap up sustains, right, we'll never know what will happen until tomorrow. But if the gap up sustains, say we open here, there's a chance we might go touch this reverse. If we open within the gap, we might go touch this gap boundary and reverse. If we open within this gap and break out this level, definitely we will also trade that depending on the price action. So these are the couple of moves that I'm expecting. And looking at the open interest for Nifty, see, we have call sellers that have exited at 17,200. A lot of put sellers have come in until 17,300. Not much of call sellers that have been added today. So the only significant resistance is coming in at 17,500. Nifty is looking a little bullish based on the open interest compared to Bank Nifty. So probably there is a possibility we might touch 17,500 tomorrow, either in the gap up or in some kind of an intraday level, and then face some resistance here at 17,500. That's what it looks like in the open interest. So that's it for tomorrow. Hope this helps. If it's helping you, please hit the like button, and thank you for watching.